This is Chamber Chatter on WCOM LP 103.5 FM. Chamber Chatter is a monthly roundtable discussion with North Carolina's business leaders. This program is underwritten by NC Chamber Maps. You can't go anywhere in North Carolina without us. My business leaders today are Cindy Poindexter, the president of the Chatham Chamber of Commerce, and Meg Moss, the executive director at the Sanford Area Growth Alliance, and Dana Wooten, president of the Clayton Chamber of Commerce. All right, with a little homage to the Beatles, this segment is called Day Tripper. Let me set this up for you, Dana. We'll go to you first. My wife, Michelle, and my two kids have worked so hard lately that we want to treat ourselves to a full day in Clayton. We just jumped in the car at sunrise, and here we are, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed at 8 a.m. What can we do for the next 10 to 12 hours?
Oh gosh, well, you have a full day, because one of the things I love about Clayton is that we have lots of choices. So one of the things that I love about Clayton is our recreation. So you could take a walk on one of our greenway paths. You could visit one of our 3 community parks, including a dog park in case you bring your furry little friend with you.
Absolutely.
And also have part of one of our East Clayton parks is the Harney Playground. And I took Rick to visit when he came to Clayton, and it's a beautiful all-inclusive park that we have here in Clayton that we had our ribbon cutting for during the pandemic. So it was one of the highlights of the Clayton community. And we love having the all-inclusive playground where all families can come and play. So your kids could come and do that if they're of that age. We have, bike paths. We have a walking tour that we have a Clayton Connection App, and we have put your headphones in and take a walking tour of historic downtown Clayton. Sort of narrates all the different historic sites in downtown. You could visit one of our great coffee shops downtown that sometimes they have music and mimosas and great beverages, and grab a little breakfast there as well. We can, let's see, next you might want to visit, if it's on a Saturday, you might want to visit our great Clayton Community Farmers Market. We have lots of vendors and artisans downtown from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock. And just get fresh vegetables, look at artwork, seafood, lots of great vendors down at our farmers market. Then, it might be lunchtime. You might want to grab a bite of lunch at one of our great little soda shop that we have downtown. You might want to venture out of downtown and visit some of our locally owned restaurants in the different outlying parts of Clayton from downtown. Or you might want to remain downtown and visit our different businesses down here. You might want to, on certain Saturdays, we have a bus tour of Clayton. And it's called Clayton 101 Bus Tour. And we take 50 visitors in the morning and 50 visitors in the afternoon on a bus. And we tour all the districts of Clayton, show them the different recreation, business amenities that we have here. We end up back downtown where we take a tour of the firehouse. Our local fire chief loves to show off his firehouse, and
don't they always
do down here. So you could do that. The kids seem to enjoy that. We also have a sculpture trail, which is nice, and we have different sculpture pieces, about 12 to 15 sculpture pieces depending on the year, dotted all throughout Clayton. So we love art here, and so not only do we have the sculpture trail, you might catch a performance at the Clayton Arts Center. Our Carolina Youth Theater puts on different plays throughout the year, and so you might want to grab a play in our auditorium. It's the old school that they refurbished, and so now it's our Clayton Arts Center. You might want to take a walk through our little community garden, which is downtown, where people can come and plant their plants and share it within the community. You might want to grab an adult beverage at one of our distilleries or our brewery that we have here downtown. Lots of kids running around and playing, and while the parents are sitting around enjoying a cold beverage. Then at certain Saturdays, we have our concert series. We might have a movie night, family movie night downtown. And then you might want to grab a bite to eat at night at some of our upscale restaurants downtown. Music is a great big part of Clayton. You can find local artists playing music just about at every single one of our restaurants or venues at any given night here in Clayton. And if you want a really big time at the last Saturday in October, you might want to join us for our Clayton Harvest Festival, which is a harvest festival that brings vendors downtown. It's 5 days. We have a carnival, we have a car show, we have a pig cook-off, we have a music festival on one end, a vendor fair at the other end. And then the next day we have a Latin American festival. We have lots of great music and Latin American food downtown. So there's lots going on. We have great local farms where you could pick strawberries this time of year. So lots of choices.
That's beautiful. And for those that want to know about the Harvest Festival, it is actually October 27th to October 31st, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct.
All right, great.
Fair is that Saturday. Yes.
It's beautiful.
I don't know, Rick. It sounds a little sleepy in Clayton. Let's see what the others have to say.
I'm exhausted just from the things they put on my schedule to do in Clayton. All right, Meg. COVID is gone. The kids have been locked up, Zooming their schoolwork for 14 months, let's say. Time to treat them to some R&R. Of course, a happy wife is a happy life too. So my wife, my kids, what do you got for us, the four of us in Sanford?
Well, I feel like I've been teleported into Clayton from Sanford because we have so many of the same great attributes to our community. But I would certainly start the day with one of our coffee shops. And I hope it's okay that I name a few things
Absolutely.
By name. So the Eyelight Cafe is a brand new coffee shop that opened in downtown Jonesboro, actually. And the Eyelight Cafe was part of our RISE program, which is Real Investment in Sanford Entrepreneurs, which has been a really successful program in opening new businesses in Sanford. So you can start with coffee at the Eyelight Cafe and in Jonesboro, and then you can make your way downtown. We've got several women's boutiques that I just love to go. I can spend a whole day in downtown Sanford on a Saturday. It's great. Two of those boutiques opened during COVID, and we're a part of the RISE program as well. If you want to check out some yoga, we have that downtown as well, a new yoga studio. And after you get in some exercise, you can head over to the chocolate cellar. We have an amazing chocolatier here in Sanford, in downtown. And so it's always a treat to take the kids to go get a chocolate truffle either before or after we go to a show at the Temple Theater. My kids and I thoroughly enjoy going to the Temple Theater. It is a crown jewel. It is the biggest draw of visitors to Lee County is the Temple Theater. So we love going there. Dana talked about your parks and your recreation, and similarly, we have great parks and recreation and a greenway trail. And actually, Lee County is going through a renovation of all of our parks and recreation. So right now, if you came today, you would see a lot of dirt being moved because playgrounds are being redone and trails are being redone. And so we're very excited at what's going to happen in the next 6 months. I certainly couldn't talk about Sanford Lee County without talking about Deep River Sporting Clays, which is a beautiful 65 plus acre facility just north in Lee County, where a lot of people go out, groomsmen go out the day before the wedding and go out and shoot. We have a chamber tournament out there at the Clays facility. It's just a wonderful place to go and spend several hours of your day. It takes about 2 hours to shoot the course at Deep River Sporting Clays. And then you can conclude your day at one of our breweries. We have Camelback Brewing and we have Hugger Mugger Brewing, which is downtown. We also have a music series thanks to our Downtown Sanford Incorporated. We have a very active downtown business association. And so they do a music series twice a year. And our kind of big festival for the year is the Downtown Sanford Street Fest and Fireworks, which takes place in October. So it is a wonderful day of food trucks and vendors and arts and music. And then the day concludes with a huge fireworks display, not 4th of July. So it's just a great place to come and visit and spend an entire day.
Absolutely. Well, I have, let's first talk about the chocolate cellar and what Laura Phelps did in that place. I think I put on 1,000 calories when I went in and I took a deep breath. It is just the most phenomenal, and you'll see some pictures of that on the webcast. It's sensational. And Narborough's ice cream. I thought it was going to be a sleepy business because of the time that I went there, but it's a 3-room ice cream store and grill, and all 3 rooms are packed. Waiting online, the dining room to the left and the dining room to the right, packed, absolutely packed. I just that was very, very encouraging to see all of that. And again, as I said, that was a good month and a half ago. So God bless them. I'm great. It's just great to see that.
Well, I'll give a plug to Yarborough's if you have just a second. My oldest son is 16 years old and he works at Yarborough's Ice Cream. So thanks for giving them a plug. And
Absolutely.
He's going to get a raise and a promotion out of this.
No commission on this part. So no problem at all. The Temple Theater. Now, the Temple Theater seems to be a partnership or a shared resources type of thing. No, it's more of a partnership with the theater that is being built in Mosaic. Are you familiar, or have you heard anything about this?
I've heard that there is going to be a theater at Mosaic, and I know that it is in partnership with Temple Theater. You know, Temple Theater has been in Sanford since the early 1900s, been around a very long time. And my understanding is that our artistic director here at the Temple Theater is working with the folks at Mosaic to bring a theater. I'm not sure what the name is going to be, to Chatham County. Yeah,
Chatham Park has a podcast that I listen to, and I actually think there's going to be 2 theaters. One is going to be a regular 350-seat theater, and the other one is going to be what's called a black box theater, which I've never heard about. It has movable seats, suspended ceiling cables, and so you can do something in the round. You can magician shows. It's very flexible as to thinking it's just going to be a white canvas screen that you're going to be just showing movies on. And they mentioned the partnership between the Temple Theater and I think it's the Black Box Theater. I'll find out more about that and I'll put it on the webcast link and we'll go from there. But that's great. Thank you very much. Do you have anything to add, Mark?
No, I'm very impressed. I'd like to see what's next.
Well, what's next? Well, we have Cindy.
She covers an entire county, right?
Exactly. And that's why I gave a little bit of the way I worded it is, we'll pretend that Siler City is 5 minutes from Pittsburgh. So you don't have me traveling back and forth for the 12 hours. So Cindy, we know you cover the entire county, but for this game, we won't count travel time. What else you got for us?
Okay. Well, you could also start out with coffee like you did in Sanford. You could start at the Chatham Rabbit. That's in Cellar City. the name comes from the history of rabbits in Chatham County. In the 1900s, rabbits they were a big business. In fact, there were like over 160 some thousand in the 1900s shipped out of Cellar City to other places. And actually in New York and other places, there was a menu item that said Chatham Rabbit. So just a little history there. After coffee, I would travel to Bear Creek and go to Southern Supreme Gourmet Specialties, taste some fruitcake and cookies and all the good stuff that they have there. They're out in the middle of nowhere in Bear Creek. They have thousands of visitors annually. Started out in a garage, and now it's been renovated and added on, and it's just a great place to visit. People they ship worldwide. And then if you come back towards Cellar City, there's the NC Arts Incubator right in Cellar. Galleries, shops that you can visit. If you want another coffee, the coffee shop's right there by NC Arts Incubator. Going on down to Pittsburgh, you could go to Burley's, the Mod, Carolina Brewery for lunch. If you were to go to the brewery, I got tongue twisted there, I would suggest in advance making a schedule to tour the brewery. You just have to call them in advance and set up a tour, and they'll take you in the back end of the building and show you all about how they make their beer, and it's very interesting. And then at the end of the day, or towards the end of the day, still in Pittsburgh, you could go to Carolina Tiger Rescue, which is a wildlife sanctuary that rescues and protects big wild cats, and walk through and get your exercise there. Numerous parks, citywide, county parks, city parks that you could go to in the area. If you wanted to come back to Cellar for supper, you can maybe go to Best Food Cafeteria, Haley Bell Steakhouse. Both are very good choices. Couple of large events to mention toward the fall is the Pittsburgh Street Fair, which is in October, on October 30th. And then the Silk Hope Old Fashioned, and the Old Fashioned Farmers Day is put on by the Silk Hope Puritans. And that brings crowds from all over the place. It's a huge, huge celebration Labor Day weekend. So you wouldn't want to miss out on that if you can come back in September.
That sounds great. And I went to Verley's last week. I went to Verley's, had lunch there, and had one of the Reuben sandwiches to die for, just so everybody knows. You got to deal with the construction traffic right now with what's going on around the courthouse, but well worth it. Well worth it.
Yes, it is.
All right. Coming up next is going to be in New York, the very popular segment called Ask Alita. That's where I'm muted. I'm sure you're all happy to hear that. And let each of the guests take the mic and ask the questions. Funny how that is, that the section where I keep quiet is one of the most popular segments, right? So it's Chamber Chatter, WCOM LP 103.5 FM.